Hello everyone, in this video we will see what is JSX in React. So JSX is probably the very first thing you would do if you're learning React. So let's get started. So before we're doing JSX, let's see how we do things in HTML. So for example, let's say in HTML we need to create a button. How will we do it? We'll just create a button and we'll close the button. So this will be a button in HTML, and then we can write click me. So this will be rendered as a button, and you'll do the same thing in JSX as well. So let's go to app.js. So this is our project structure. I didn't delete any files or folders here, so we don't need to do that for now. So let's just understand what we can do with JSX. So let's get remove of this. And let's run our server npm start. Okay, so now we will have our servers. So now, because we didn't save it, if I save this, everything will be gone because I just deleted everything. So let's create that same button. I can just copy that same button from there and paste it over here. And if I save it, I'll have this button. So this is a valid JSX. But how would you add an event listener over here? In regular JavaScript, you can add IDs, and then you can grab those IDs and put those event listener. But we don't do that in React. In React, we have our methods. So we have our onClick method here, which we can use, and then we can give any callback over here. So we can provide any callback function. So callback means whenever the user click this button, the function inside onClick will run. That's the easy definition of a callback function in this regard. So that's how you basically add a button in React, and you will have this onClick method. And there are so many different methods you can do with different HTML properties. So that's the easiest part, I guess. Whoa, what did I do? Yeah, because I'm not passing a function here. So I'll just get rid of this, and now we are back to our good screen. Now, before I jump to next section, let's dig deep in JSX. So we have our function. If you don't know anything about how function works in JavaScript, then I would highly recommend you to see what functions do and how can we use them. So over here, we have our functional component app. Every functional component has a return statement. So over here, we have our return statement, and inside the return statement, we have our div, the main div. You need to have at least one parent div in order to return something from your component. I mean, if you remove this div and remove that, then you can only use one button. Then you can't have multiple, like you can't do this. You can't add a p tag. Hello, this will not compile. This will give you error because we are missing an enclosing tag. So you can use either React Fragments. So React Fragments are just these brackets, and we can put everything inside this React fragment, and boom, this will work. And if you inspect this, then you will see you just have this div ID root. I'll show you where we have this ID root, but you see you don't have any divs here. But if I add a div here and save it, see, now we have our div. So the difference between adding a div or a React fragment is you will get rid of this div. You'll not see this in your DOM element, in your DOM, sorry. So when you have like nested elements, you don't need unnecessary divs. So the good way you can use it, just use the React fragments and you're good to go. Okay, so that part is covered. So let's see what else we can do in JSX. So we can put expressions inside JSX. So we have a p tag, we have a button, and then we can put expression. We can put hello world, and this will be rendered as regular text in our HTML, because this is an expression in JavaScript. You can do that. You can also put numbers. You can also put 99 and you'll get a 99 in return. Pretty impressive. So you can even do addition as well. So you can add 1 and then it will be 100. So you can do some calculations inside those curly brackets. So any valid JavaScript expression you can put inside those curly brackets. You can also apply any valid JavaScript method inside those curly brackets. So this is a really powerful tool, and you'll be using a lot of curly brackets in your React application. I'll give you some other use cases as well. Let's say we have a variable name, and let's just call it John. And then we can pass this variable inside the curly bracket. Maybe I'll create a new one and just pass the name variable, and you'll see a John. Yeah, so now we have a line break between this expression and this expression. So you can put your variables here and you can show them inside those curly brackets. Really powerful tool. Now let's see what you can't do inside JSX. So you won't be able to do this. You won't be able to put whole statements inside your JSX, or even inside this curly bracket, or inside your JSX. You can only put expressions. Expressions are something in JavaScript that computed to a value. So this is not an expression. This is a statement. A regular program, any language, consists of expressions and statements. So always remember, if you want to do this, you need to do that above it. So you need to do your statements above return statement inside your function. This is valid. So whatever you define here will be available inside your component. So this is you can do, but you can't use statement inside your return statement. Okay, let's see what else we can do in JSX. So let me get rid of this. Let's say we have an element, ELEM, and we can create our valid JSX even before the return statement. So let's give it a fragment, because it must have fragment, right? I mean, you don't need to add fragments here, because let's say you are using that element inside some fragment, so you don't need to use it here. But I think it's just a good practice. Inside element, let's add some p tag. Hello, I live in Canada, and save it. And then we can copy this variable name, and we don't need that guy. Delete this, and then we can add our break statement and put our curly brackets and save it, and then we can render that variable inside our return statement. So this is a valid JSX. This is pretty handy. Sometimes you'll use it. You can add a whole lot of things. You can add this inside an if statement, a for loop, or whatever. Like, you can do a lot of things, and then you can render that inside your return statement. So hope that's easily understandable. Hope I'm not doing a really bad job explaining these things. And I guess that's pretty much all when it comes to JSX. I mean, we'll be doing a lot of things inside JSX. So if I miss anything here, I mean, this can't be everything like you can do in JSX. There's so many things you can do, but this is the basic thing, the basic idea, that what kind of operations you can perform inside your JSX. And yeah, if the only thing left is, I think, if you want to add some comments. So let's say you say, okay, this is a comment, and then if you want to comment it out, you can just select it and press command or control. I think it's command and /, and this will be your commented out code. So compiler will not run this part of your program. It will only run this. And that's how you use comments in React. Okay, so that's it from this video or this tutorial or this lesson. I'll meet you in the next video.